Hi students, I'm Chandrasekhar, working as a physics lecturer in Vinjee Junior College. So we'll discuss about the ray optics today. So now in the ray optics, we'll discuss about the reflection through curved surface. For a simple example, let us suppose this is a hollow sphere from which a part is taken, then that is called as a part of. For a simple example, this is nothing but a part of hollow sphere whose outer surface is silvered, then it becomes a concave mirror. This is called as the concave mirror. Now, if the inner surface of the lens curved surface is silvered, that is called as the convex mirror. These are the two types of spherical mirrors. Now, this is a part of the sphere. Then now, let us suppose we draw the imaginary sphere for the curved surface. Then the center of the imaginary surface is called center of curvature. The radius of this imaginary sphere is called as the radius of curvature. So now for the curved surface, the deepest curved point is called as the pole. Or in other words, the center of the curved part is called as the pole. Center of the curved part is called pole. These are the basic definitions in the spherical mirrors. Now let us suppose this is the curved surface and now outer surface is silvered. It becomes a concave mirror, and now this is the center of curvature and this is the pole of the mirror. The line joining the center of curvature and pole of the mirror is called as the principal axis. That is called principal axis. The light rays which are nearer to the principal axis are called paraxial rays. The light rays which are nearer to the principal axis, or in other words, the light rays which makes the small angles with the principal axis are called as the paraxial rays. These are called paraxial rays. And in the similar way, the light rays which are farther from the principal axis, are called marginal rays. Or in other words, the light rays which makes the larger angles with the principal axis are called marginal rays again. So these are the different types of rays we have. Now this is the concave mirror. When a parallel beam of light, before we are going to that, I would like to explain what are the laws of reflection. So first point, all of us know that the incident ray, reflected ray and normal drawn to the surface lies in the same plane. Incident ray, reflected ray and normal drawn to the surface lies in the same plane. And another word, if a light ray is incident on the surface by making an angle theta with the normal. Remember all of you, for example, this is a sphere. The radius vector is the normal to the surface. Therefore, the principal axis is taken as the normal axis, or any line which is passing through the center of curvature is the normal drawn to the surface. A light ray is incident by making an angle theta. The reflected ray also makes the same angle theta. Hence we can say that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Incident ray, normal and reflected ray all are lying in the same plane. That is the first one. And the second one, the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So these are the points you remember, all of you. This is a convex mirror. This is the principal axis. When a parallel beam of light is incident on a mirror, then all the light rays are really converged at a particular point. So that is called focus of the mirror. I'll repeat again. The light rays which are incident parallel to the principal axis are really meeting at a particular point. That is called as the focus of the mirror. This is called focus. The distance of the focus from the pole is called as the focal length. This is called focal length. In the similar way, for diverging mirror, or in other words, convex mirror, when a parallel beam of light is incident, then the point at which or from which the light rays are appear to diverge, is called focus. So this is called as the focus, and this distance is called as the focal length. The light rays, the point at which all the light rays really converge, or the point from which all the light rays are appear to diverge, is called as the focus of the lens. Now here we are following certain sign convention. Sir, what is the sign convention? Sign convention. Remember, all of you, all the distances are measured from the pole of the mirror. All the distances are measured from the pole of the mirror. So now, the distances which are measured in a direction opposite to the light are taken as the negative. Distances which are measured in a direction opposite to the light are taken as the negative, and the distances which are measured in the direction of light are taken as the positive. So look at the diagram. Here the focus is here. Distance is measured from the pole. The distance is measured in a direction opposite to the light. Hence, focal length is negative for concave mirror. Focal length is negative for concave mirror. And now here the distance is measured in the direction of light. Hence, focal length is positive for convex mirror. Focal length is positive for convex mirror. These are the points you remember. So now this is the concave mirror, and now this is the principal axis, where as you imagine a light ray is incident. Here we discussing about the relation between radius of curvature and focal length. Radius of curvature and focal length. A light ray is incident parallel to the principal axis. Then this is the center of curvature. A line passing through the center of curvature on this point is called normal drawn to the mirror. Light ray is reflected and passing through the focus. This is the condition. So let us suppose this angle is equal to theta, angle of incidence. This is the angle of reflection. This is also equal to theta. Now this is the radius of curvature, and this is the radius of curvature. Here it is. Okay. This angle is equal to theta, and here it is equal to theta, and this angle is equal to 2 theta. If you drop the normal from this point P, this intersects at a point is equal to N. So drop the normal from point M, which intersects at point N. Then, so now N and P is very close to each other in the case of paraxial rays. N and P are very close to each other for paraxial rays. So from the diagram, the distance of center of curvature is equal to radius. Distance of the focus is equal to focal length. So now from the diagram we can write, so tan theta is equal to, from the diagram, from triangle CMN triangle. So tan theta is equal to opposite side MN divided by adjacent side, that is equal to Cn. So that is approximately equal to Mn divided by Cp, that is nearly equal to Mn by R. From triangle FMN, tan 2 theta is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side Fn, that is equal to Mn by Fp, that is nearly equal to mn divided by f. If theta is very small, if theta is small, then we can write tan theta is equal to theta. So you will learn this point in the intermediate. Tan theta equal to theta. So from the diagram, theta is equal to mn by r. So from the above, mn by r, and 2 theta is equal to mn by f. So 2 into mn by r is equal to mn by f. Mn gets cancelled, therefore r is equal to 2f. This is the relation between radius of curvature and focal length. So practice the questions, and if you have any doubt, please comment. Thank you.